like mounted below under the lens. So basically every time you're turning to where there's action and people are talking, that mic would be facing towards.
Just talk.
So you're using a directional mic that's not picking up so much like a shotgun is.
I wonder if we also hung those like sound absorbent panels under.
That'd be cool. I was wondering about if we have help a ton.
I
If
think
that's what we're after, we can get like a mat or something.
yeah. I think Mike brought up patting the floor or something too.
That'd be interesting. At
Which
the
I
very
could-
least,
I
right
can-
under where they're standing would help.
Yeah,
Well,
just
I get it for like a robot in 3 days, but not like a permanent.
yeah, not
thing.
permanent.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, they have those like squishy floor mats like that you put in front of your sink when you do dishes.
Yeah.
And you just lay one of those down here.
Yep. All right, we're at 3% drop frames. Okay,
My
it's back to
king.
regular now.
Swag.
Hi.
Well, the only thing I can think of, like, that I have a different sense of now than I did before I walked in there, was that it definitely, like, feels like it could be much louder.
Okay.
And I'm saying that relative to the ads in the place.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
or like just using that as like the
I think that's
I hear it. I hear ya. We can't go very much louder anywhere before we start clipping. So we
Yeah.
can go a little louder in OBS. There we go. Check, check, check. Yeah, that's fine. We could have been louder in OBS. That probably would get to the point where it's
it
reasonable.
looks like channel 1 could go up a little bit too.
Bing bong. Bing bong.
Yeah. Every once in a while we get in the red.
So,
Check.
And I wonder if, like, it'd be nice if there's an easy way to see what the volume level is on all the mics.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is dreaming, but if there was a dashboard here that showed you all the mics,
Sure.
their status of channels and what volume levels,
I mean,
that's dreaming. But
The only cause for pause that I have is like when they're building, there's a lot of drops. So like drops of like physical items that would like blow out if we bump up the volume of everything.
So, okay.
Because like when they were messing with the Viper slide and it was just like slamming.
just demonstrate it for us.
Yes.
No, I see what you're
me
saying.
too. I turned too far.
Is there any sort of like live clipping you can do, like to where it doesn't go above a certain?
I don't know if we can automatically adjust the volume, you're saying, basically.
I was just trying to test if I disconnected the power.
So if we had a mixer, we'd have that pretty much. Not like a rack mount style mixer. 12 channel mixer. We would have each input would be we'd have like a set of LEDs that would reflect.
Yo,
its
I'd feel like a
volume.
fighter pilot messing with that thing.
So you'd have. Does this one not have it? What the heck? So the mixer I use at the Makerspace, you've got LEDs right by the dial that you'd be working with, and then you've also got a clipping. So you've got a preamp that you can adjust, and then at that point you can adjust to the point where it doesn't ever clip. You get an LED that yells at you when it starts clipping, and then you've also got a. I'm just trying to find some with sliders with LEDs. Is that just not a thing? Am I making this up? I'm making this up. The Makerspace
What are
doesn't
you-
have it.
I didn't hear the part of it. What are you looking for?
I was thinking of like a mixer with LEDs by the slider for the channel where it shows you its volume
They-
level.
They make
But
those.
the slider is like the visual indicator, though, right? Like
The slider is just your volume. Like it's an amp.
Yeah, and that one it just has the one that does have the levels. Probably this the master.
Yeah.
Uh,
Which would
That's
tell
your
us if
master
anything is
track.
clipping.
Yeah.
you just wouldn't see it per channel.
Yeah.
And
see it per channel.
probably the way that one's set up, did you see the red?
Yeah.
Is
That's the
it
way
probably
I
just
estimate it.
literally just shows you when you're clipping.
Yeah,
You just
it'll
get like a
flash
red
red.
flash, and
It would
it's
be
like
awesome if you had that set of LEDs per channel to where you can go, oh, this channel's a little low, this channel's a little high, and just kind of like
Yeah.
adjust it on the fly.
Yeah. If you really solid on, and the other thing you can do a lot of times is you can at the mixer
I have
choose
one of
which
those.
channels you're monitoring. So I think so.
Let's get Luke in here. Make our own custom mixer.
Oh. So we could do The only thing is we would not be looking at we would be looking at a receiver. We wouldn't be looking at a transmitter. So if we saw someone clipping, it would be one of those two people are clipping instead of, or one of those two people are too quiet. And if we needed individual volume control, we've got to do it at their transmitter.
You're right. It's much better to do it at the source than
Sure.
try to amplify the volume.
I think this is still a good idea, like definitely. And when I'm doing makerspace meetings, I'm adjusting these to get people to be louder or quieter. So that's super reasonable. We just start talking about subgroup instead of just an individual person, which was just a little unfortunate. So this is a 12 channel. This is actually really reasonably priced.
I guess I didn't capture what you just said. Like when you said group of people, were you on group of people instead of an individual?
Yeah.
Are you talking about because you're turning the volume up or down for one receiver?
Yes.
That has two people.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So that's not outputting it as two channels.
Correct.
It's outputting it as one channel.
Correct. The only reason we hear two channels is that we have two of those receivers are on a wire harness into one channel. One of the receivers is in its own channel. And then right now in OBS we are
Possible just to get more receivers. We'll just have one receiver per transmitter. And then
potentially.
we have volume control independent for each one, and there's never an issue with, because the two receivers go, like, each receiver doesn't go the other receiver is doing it.
Then
It should be that we can, with how much control they have, we might be able to test it, is if we can get everything to match up, then one receiver would receive, like however many mics you send to it. Should be the way to ride each other.
Well, that was the only reason that we originally tested the overlapping channels. Because I was like, can
normally
we
it's
just have
2
one?
mics per receiver, no matter what. Even most lapels.
so
We do one receiver per mic. That takes out all the interference issues.
No, you could still change as long as you don't change the channel. Yes, but if you change the channel, you could still mess it up.
Yeah. Well, I think that, I mean, regardless, if you're on wireless, you can mess it up by changing the channel. But it at least takes out the easy to bump side switch situation.
And we do take that out by having each group on the receiver as its own channel. So right now, the default way you configure this is group A and B are both on the same channel, and you could switch, and it's just that one is on group A, one's on group B. At that point, you could switch B on group A on channel 60, and then it would mess it up.
So it's only when you're on the same channel and the same subgroup
Correct.
that it causes interference. As long
Correct.
as you're on different channels, you can be both on A.
Yep. Yep. Also, probably where our issue comes from. It'll automatically change the channel. Like its memory is by group. So like I'm.
So it says
And
switches
here-
where you can hit it, it's just changing it.
Yeah. So in this case, I'm on channel 60 when I'm in group B. I'm in channel 0 and I'm in group A.
so
So-
it's like someone probably
Someone probably just bumped the switch.
two people
And I
probably just
prob-
bumped the switch.
And I probably just never changed the group setting or the channel setting for the groups I didn't use.
bam,
That's it.
and we
That's gotta
figured
be
it
it.
out.
So I bet somebody just hit the switch
Mhm.
on 2 with mics. That's
Yep.
super easy to do.
Yep.
Okay.
Like maybe they probably could have just adjusted it because it's right where your thumb goes,
Yeah.
Basically.
and just yep.
Okay.
So is it only then mics that were on different channels, or were the receivers?
So
Because I came in on Saturday after you guys had discovered that, so I wasn't there.
it was
for-
just the mics that were on different channels.
Okay.
So just the mics were on. Yeah. The receivers.
So
were
it's
fine.
all the guest's fault.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
All we gotta
So
do
then-
is pop that slider
Yeah.
off and
And we're good to go.
go.
And we
Yeah.
don't even have to return these because I didn't want to because they're nice.
I also didn't want to return them. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, I
think
just
that
wanted to make
solves
sure
the
about the receiver thing because then I don't know if he had messed, if Mike had messed with anybody's
Because I know there
if
was
that was
finagling with the receivers at one point.
I don't think he can make it break with that though.
Yeah. And that was already after it already had
Yeah.
messed up. So like that
Yeah.
wasn't the issue.
It's not on mic. Okay. I don't know if we can buy just the receiver. I was hoping we could find their website and find a SKU or something.
Seems like maybe it's less necessary now.
I think it's okay.
If we pop off that slide switch and
Yep.
they're all set up properly and then they don't get messed with.
And then we
can
just
even,
need, you know,
we can make sure they're on the same channel, no matter which group they're in.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like from now on, that's kind of like the pre-flight checklist before
Yeah.
the show starts.
Yeah.
Is channels and subgroups.
And ideally, we would have just had them here before and been able to check before they started streaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what a
What it came
big
down
reason
to
it happened live.
Is
Yeah,
they
I
were
think so,
rushed.
too.
Somebody bumped a switch.
Yep.
They didn't have time to troubleshoot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect storm.
Perfect storm.
perfect storm. And then, so then pretty much like
And
all
we
we
have-
need is backups then.
We had all the mics on in the pre-show, in the show with Jacob and I. Everything was on. So we had audio issues then. That's probably when the switch got bumped. The switch
Uh-huh.
never got bumped.
Right, because there were definitely a lot of audio issues on that
Yep.
first one.
Yep.
and So it wasn't by the guests that came late.
Yeah. It was probably
Sometimes.
one of us setting it up. I totally could have.
Yeah, when one of us, I mean,
Any of us could
so
have hit the
easy
switch.
to-
Yeah.
Terrible design.
terrible design.
Okay.
So pretty much at this point, we just need choir mics and a mixer,
Mhm.
and we'll be set.
Yeah.
Because that'll give us a backup, and
Yeah. Or another shotgun.
yeah, true.
Whatever works.
I like the idea of a choir. It's something that's like just permanent.
Yeah, just permanent. And we just hang them up there, and
Whether it's a shotgun or choir mic.
Whatever. I don't know. Are choir mics more like? I suppose they're very similar, right? Like.
Well, and I don't know necessarily.
CHOIR.
I was like, you.
They are more.
I'm surprised you didn't come up with like
should
some
be
very
more
dark.
directional than a shotgun.
Just googling shotgun versus choir. It's like,
Oh goodness.
you almost got to the wrong part of the internet.
Yeah, that's. Oh, good. Yeah.
Luke, please don't check our search history.
Stay away from hanging choir mics.
Of Aunt
Oh.
Ethel coughing in the door.
That's fair.
Damn it, Aunt Ethel.
Ground your microphones at the front of the stage to cover the downstage areas, and shotguns over the stage. Like.
I honestly wonder if it'd be worth finding like an audio technician in Wichita and just bringing them in for a day.
I had wondered about that.
That's
too.
reasonable.
And just being like, hey, figure out the best solution for our area.
That's fair.
Because of how unique, I mean, this is a very unique space.
Yeah. It
You know,
feels like
an
it could.
audio engineer or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know one actually. I used to
I
work
was-
with the guy. Sorry, it just
I mean, we could
No,
we
no.
could honestly
He-
reach out to a
he was
professor
a-
at WSU
he
and
was
see if they
programmer.
bring their class in.
he was a programmer at my last job, and he quit to go pursue his music career. And one of the things he does is audio engineering.
Huh.
So, yeah, I'll reach out to him.
Okay.
See if I can get his contact info.
Yeah. That or I mean, WSU has like their
Then again, he might.
film stuff.
I
We
don't
could,
know if physically is. Yeah.
I mean, we could just reach out to a film professor and be like, hey, if you want to bring your class in for like a live, you know, troubleshooting exercise, bring them on down.
Yeah.
The thing about it, like in broadcasts and stuff, unless you're going into wanting to be like an audio technician,
True.
you
I
know,
wouldn't want a whole classroom of people in here that the vast majority of
Bring your star prodigy and
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've been to college. You have a mix. People have no idea what to do, and then people who are very talented.
I think I've got one more nice shotgun mic, and maybe it's two more, so we can mic the field as well.
yeah, field bay and bay
Field bay and bay, or field and two mics.
and two bays. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it's just the backup one per area, it's perfect.
Excuse me.
And if we do two bays, like there's just less need for backup is the other thing. Like the backup doesn't have to be as good as long as the failure is not at the computer. one bay is probably going to fail, at which point we can switch and play it safe.
All right. Well.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So let's put most of it away, and then we'll make sure we have a set, I guess, to where we can just demo that issue. That sure seems like it's it, though.
Yeah.
The only thing that we haven't accounted for is specifically the shriek.
Yeah.
That could be people messing with cables. Though.
Yeah, which we were doing.
That would be my guess. Is where some of that stuff came from. Would be us messing with connections during it.
Okay. Well, that sucks.